Joining me now with more on the rescue and recovery efforts in Ecuador is Christy Delafield. She's with the humanitarian aid agency Mercy Corps. Just set the scene for us. How is Mercy Corps responding? And I know time's always of the essence, isn't it, in these kind of issues?
Definitely. We have a team that is on the way to Ecuador, actually. We are in Colombia and in Guatemala, so it is easy for us to redeploy people from those locations. But at this point, what we know is people need shelter, they need clean water, they need food. And between aftershocks and landslides, it's going to be really difficult to get to these hard-hit areas.
Well, give us a sense of that, too, because I think people generally who've never lived through an earthquake don't have any idea about how your nerves are jangled and these aftershocks can come unexpectedly at any time, and many times they can really jolt you.
Yeah, and they keep coming. I mean, as of last night, Ecuador has experienced 230 aftershocks, some of them as high as magnitude 6. And I mean, I was in Nepal after the earthquake, and I remember waking up in my bed in the middle of the night just with the bed shaking. And you can imagine that people are being re-traumatized as they try to find a safe place to sleep. And they're, in some cases, outdoors, that it's raining. This is just, it's an ordeal, and it's not just a single incident. It continues.
Talk to me about Nepal and one of the issues I'd like you to maybe touch on, having been there, is this 24-hour news cycle. It's a big story, and then there's another big story, and suddenly it's off the pages, and yet the struggles continue for a very long time for these people trying to recover from an ordeal like this.
They do. And I mean, you don't rebuild a home in a day or in 2 days. And I mean, as we saw in Nepal, the interest kind of died off a little bit, and then there was another 7.3 earthquake 2 weeks later, and everybody came rushing back. But the Nepali people are still living through this and still trying to rebuild. And I can imagine their hearts are going out to the people of Ecuador right now and looking at the road ahead for them.
Is there something you can learn in Nepal that's translatable to Ecuador? I mean, are there things that you pick up as you cover these tragedies that help the next time around?
Well, the thing that struck me right away was in Ecuador, in the western part of the country where the quake, where the epicenter was, most homes are not earthquake resistant. Most homes are not built that way. And what Mercy Corps has done in Nepal is work with local engineers and local building crews to design plans using locally available materials. So tweaking the building techniques that are already in existence. And I could see that being really useful for rural communities in Western Ecuador as well.
One final question. I know you're now in Ecuador, you've been in Nepal, your group in Greece, Yemen, Turkey, Jordan, Iraq, Syria. I'm sure there's more on that list. A lot of humanitarian crisis out there. How do you guys respond, and what's the message you'd like to get across to the viewers?
Honestly, for us, we really see in these crises the strength of the people that we work with. We see that people aren't giving up, that people are resilient, that they are eager to rebuild, that they're inventive and creative, and it's that local knowledge and that local insight that really is the key to rebuilding and recovery after these emergencies.
And that's a lot of work still ahead. Christy, thanks so much for coming in. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.